The Pacific Coast Highway, from Los Angeles to Vancouver. Arguably the greatest motorcycle road trip the United States has to offer, and has been sitting on my bucket list for the past 13 years. Since opportunity and adventure are taking my wife and I back to the Midwest, I can think of no better way to pay tribute to the West Coast as we say goodbye to the friends we leave behind. Yesterday started a little bit later than I wanted to, but only by about a half an hour. I had to repack everything from the night before because I packed way too much stuff. What do you think, Rob?
I think you look like a homeless person on the bike with all this crap on.
You're actually right.
Yeah.
And technically I am homeless for the next 3 weeks, living on the road.
I'm sure you're a mix of excitement and eagerness and sadness. You're not going to miss the traffic, though.
No, I won't miss the traffic.
No.
I will miss the roads, though.
You miss the roads.
Yeah. The motorcycle roads.
The people.
Most of them. I will miss.
Me.
The meat. Yes.
Huh?
Oh, you.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meat. That was my nickname. Peter gave me a long time ago. I thought it was just going to remain between he and I.
I'm not sure if this is.
Matching.
I'm not sure if this is a good idea on the motorcycle. I'm gonna get like you rolling down the road and I'm gonna look behind me and just my bag is gonna be in flames.
It's all really a meth lab. Is what he's doing. When I finally did arrive at PCH, a few friends from the SoCal chapter of the Soggy Bottom Gang, our group of self-proclaimed adventurers, were suited up and waiting for one last day of riding and climbing together before we began the journey north. Radio was there originally.
Hi, Jordy Dévyan. 2 weeks, one pair of draws. They said it couldn't be done. They said it should be done.
Not 100% sure he knew exactly what he was getting into.
I don't know. This is
I almost
an
packed
adventure.
a Mickey Mouse poncho to wear over everything. Yellow with Mickey Mouse in the back.
Oh, yeah, by the
I
way,
have some rain gear and an extra poncho.
you do? Because I was gonna get a sauna suit because it was like $12. Ooh, I saw it out loud. I asked Jason, I'm like, are sauna suits waterproof? You know, but at the very least, I'm just like, I'm the guy with the trash bag over his gear.
I wish I would have known because I had an extra pair of pants.
I have a poncho, but I don't know how well that's gonna work for you.
As the rest of us headed out, feeling a bit unprepared, Radio went back home to grab a few more items, including some warmer gear. Bob was following me with the helmet cam.
Until Pete decides, oh, I haven't been on here for a while when there's no cars. And I was like, oh shit, I can't keep up.
There's a section that was completely open, and it's the good section where you can actually see the whole road. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go through this, and then I'll wait for him when I get to the top.
It's totally smoked me.
As we were driving up, actually, this was kind of neat. I think I just pulled over to change the batteries in my camera or something. And I'm messing with that, and I turn around, and TJ pulls up right behind us. We weren't expecting to see him until the rock store, so it was kind of neat to be like on the road, pulled over, and all of a sudden one of the guys just kind of comes up and joins the gang. So that was kind of neat.
Regulators, mount up.
It really meant a lot that these guys had come out to give us a proper send-off.
So we took off up to Mulholland Drive, went to this place called the Rock Store.
The Rock Store is one of the more famous Southern California motorcycle hangouts. Hundreds of bikers swing through here every weekend, including a few celebrities.
So did you guys see there's like a memorial service going on here? Yeah. I don't know before. I'm assuming somebody went down. There's all the police officers here. I'm assuming it might have even been a CHP officer.
It's actually a goodbye party.
Is it?
Yeah, for you.
For me?
I like the one which you can pre-program the path and also the camera. So you take a picture at one end and a picture at the other, and it'll automatically do like the full panning sweeping shot for you.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. His friend works for a company that builds military drones. They have the 3D printer and everything.
I'm just wondering when they're gonna somebody that's gonna attach a bomb to it. You know, seriously. I
have Bob on camera talking about what he's gonna do with his drone.
Okay, all we need is a couple keywords: assassinate president, drone, and explosives.
Hold on, let me get the full samples of this.
Yeah, exactly. Post it. Chopper.
Anybody heard from Radio since he dropped off his place? Oh, I thought it was Bears here.
I thought he said he was going to this year too.
Yeah, the rock store. After the rock store, we left and we were going up the Snake. The Snake is kind of a section of Mulholland Drive that's famous. You can actually go to, I think it's rockstorephotos.com. There's a guy who's up there every weekend, and he just shoots the bikes going through, and then you can purchase them from him off the website. So he got a couple of good shots of me loaded up with all my gear and my 2 flags that TJ had given me. It's amazing what those little flags can do. I mean, add a couple of flags to the back of the bike, and all of a sudden you kind of feel like a road warrior.
It's pretty quiet today. I thought on a Saturday it'd be busier. Sundays it's crazy up here.
We hung out there for a little bit. My brother actually called me while I was there.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Ready for your ride?
Yeah, we're in it right now, actually. I mean, I'm not on the road. We stopped at a location here that's a kind of infamous place for people to come and test their skills on Mulholland Drive. I've never stopped at this location. It's beautiful. I've driven through it, but I'm always coming up the other direction, so I never see the view that's behind me. But hey, my pleasure, sir.
Alright, man. Be safe. Have a good time.
Alright, thanks, sir. I'll chat with you again as soon as I get a chance.
I will not be going with them, but my roommate is, so they're going to have an awesome time.
Yeah, if he shows up.
I don't know.
Last time he texted me, he said, I'll meet you guys at Point Dume. My drawers are still in the dryer.
While we stopped at the Snake, Bob had gone ahead to set up the top ropes for climbing.
Every year some professional, some amazing climber decides, you know, he's going to free climb El Cap and they die and they're like, oh, it's a tragedy. And it's like, no, it's called erosion. Rock erodes, stuff happens. Don't trust a rock.
we get down to Point Dume. I hadn't done any actual rock climbing in an actual like cliffside. So this was the first time for me.
That's it. The rest is just
And since I wasn't the only one, Bob gave TJ and I a few pointers before we started our ascent.
Precious.
all you.
So it seems like the thing to do is to go straight up the line rather than here.
You can go off. You will, as you're climbing, you'll find different routes that are a little better than others. So you'll find better handholds off to the right.
Hey, all right.
It depends on what your comfort level is.
I have no comfort level. Right?
Okay.
So
once you start climbing a little bit, you'll see.
Does it get easier the higher you go? When you're at the top, it's super easy.
Bob is as tall as the mountain.
I wore a pair of Jason Wong shoes, and Jason Wong's a little bit smaller in stature than I am. His feet are like a size and a half, size smaller than mine, plus they're rock climbing shoes, so I was crunched in there pretty good. They say that's normal for rock climbing shoes. I don't think that's normal for rock climbing shoes. That was painful.
It's funny, when we first arrived here, I was looking at the wall going, I really had to suggest this, didn't I? And now that I've done it, I'm like, yeah, let's do it again. I never felt really worried that, like, there was a couple times where I started to slip a little bit, but I was never worried about the height at all.
Yeah.
I think I was right about where Wong is right now, maybe just a little bit higher, when I ran into a section where I was like,
Yeah, it gets pretty sparse.
I don't know where to go.
Yeah, and then you ask Bob, where do I go? And he says up.
Yeah.
And around. There you go, right there.
Wong is just killing it right now.
It is. Yeah, he's a good climber. He picked it up really, really, really fast. I think he does a lot of stuff. One of my first dates, we came up here just to go climbing. And we came out of the bathroom, both came out of the bathrooms, and this guy comes up and goes, "You're Bob Chapin! You're that action guy, Bob Chapin! Hey, we're filming an action movie. You wanna be in it? We got a guest part for you." And I'm like, "You freaking set this up on a date, didn't you?" Like, "Ooh, you're Bob Chapin out the bathroom," whatever. He's like, "I swear to God, this never happens."
Are you gonna do spider just halfway down? All right. Play on. Young, are you in?
No, that might be,
I don't think Bob's
That might
climbed
be-
yet. We have to wait at least until Bob climbs.
well, here's the other thing too. Radio still hasn't met up with us yet.
He's meeting you here?
Yeah, he was supposed to meet us at PC. Well, he was at
The Shell Station.
the Shell Station. Then he was supposed to meet us at the rock store, and then he was supposed to meet us here.
Because they get pushed back and back and back.
Yeah, apparently he didn't do his laundry until this morning.
His finding his drawers is difficult. Thank you so much for letting us use your line.
Yeah.
Much obliged.
So rock climbing was awesome. We hung out for a little bit. Radio didn't make it to the rock store, so he sent us a text. "I'll meet you guys at Point Dume." Yeah. So we left, and Radio still wasn't there. This was the point where I kind of thought, man, I hope he doesn't bail. Okay, if I have to do this, if I'm the only one on a motorcycle, that's okay. But I really, really want him to go, and I hope he shows up. It's a cool spot. You know, it's right on PCH. The ocean's right across the street. There's some great surf. You go to Neptune's Net because it's a cool place to hang and meet people and stuff like that.
Let's go, best of 5.
Oh, come on, someone missed the wave. There you go. I don't know how many was that?
That's 1-1.
That's 1-1.
Okay. Anytime you get bored or lonely, you can just play this. There are 2 kinds of men in this world.
I don't know if I'm gonna have internet service up there.
Oh. Take the harmonica.
Take the harmonica.
Where I would
Surf
go.
porn.
That's awesome.
Let's copy and paste ourselves there.
Oh, where's that? I'm the Dévyan. I'm inside your head.
Any more reservations because of like the days we're gonna be there, and when I looked at the maps, it was like there was all these open spots and stuff like that. So
Okay.
Because I've totally done that shit. I remember driving up to college and like, okay, here I go. I got all my stuff in college. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I just figured I'm going to college.
Right.
So I pull up and I'm like, I didn't know if I was going to stay in a dorm or a hotel or whatever, you know. So it's like, okay, I'll stay in there's apartments down the road. I'll stay in the apartment. So I pulled up and went to the office, and said made the arrangements for an apartment. They were like, okay, well that'll be in about a week when we do the credit check. And I'm like, we're not going to stay until then, you know. And fortunately, there was a guy who was looking for a roommate, so I moved in that day. But it was like, I really thought that we could just, I'm going to college, see you guys. They just sort of take care of me, you know.
You want to sing and I'll do the dance? You can throw water on me.
All right, so I made it to Neptune's Net,
right,
and
finally showed up. I was happy he was there.
They over-celebrated.
Finally showed up.
They over-celebrated my arrival.
Yes.
Wait, everybody look up!
No.
Crazy shite. I need to turn this on. You ready for this?
We're committed, huh?
Pretty much. Yep. The adventure begins.
Well, I mean, it began at 9.
Mobile phone connected.
Yes, but now we're starting to get into unfamiliar territory.
I'm aggressive, dude. So as fast as you want to go.
Okay.
But that was cool. That was kind of where we broke off from everybody else. And we've been saying goodbye for like, everybody knew this was happening for the last 6 months. It was still a little weird knowing that you're saying goodbye, and while you'll probably come back and visit as often as possible, you know that life gets in the way sometimes, and you really don't know when the next time it is you're gonna try and come out. The city of LA, take it or leave it. I mean, there's a lot of great things you can do there, but there's a lot of great things you can do anyway. It's really the people in LA that we're gonna miss. That's the hard part.